Welcome back to Y254. Thank you so much for staying tuned. This is the Power Talk Show, and I am your host, Cheryl Blessing. I am joined live on set by Shai and Tom, and we're having an interesting conversation. We're talking about navigating singlehood. We're trying to figure out, uko single, you've just gotten out of a serious relationship. How do you maneuver that? Go on our platforms at Y254 and let me know, can you be single and happy at the same time? That's the thing I want to know. Is it possible for you to be happy while you're single, or do you have to be in a relationship for you to find your joy, your peace, and your sense of fulfillment? Let me know on our platforms at Y254. And before we went on our break, we were just talking about the different experiences that we've had. And I think we've been learning a lot for the male and the female perspective. The experiences are clearly different, but there is some similarity, especially when we're in love. It's hard to let go of the person you're really in love with, the person you've pictured and fantasized your life with. And there are moments where you slip up. Tom umetuambia unajua number of head, because most times when you're dating someone, you just know the number. So what happens when you're, maybe that one time, uko out kwa local kako, you're just drinking with your friends. Tom ashasema anapiga simu, Shai. Do you drunk call your exes?
My pride is this big.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you, it's so big that even when I'm intoxicated, I'm even more stubborn. I'm like, they will have to reach out. Now, if they do though, I'm just like, I didn't mean it, but I will never actually try. Like, it would, I don't even recall any scenario of me trying to like reach my exes after. But if they try, like, I will try to close the door. But if they get there somehow,
they can get it.
Now everything that I was storing, you know, in that pride, all of it spilled. So like,
but have you never tried to get back with an ex? Have you never actually made the move where you're like, let me just text them and say, hi, I was just checking up on you, because you really want to have a conversation and talk about why did we end, and maybe we can reignite things. Have you never gotten to that point?
No, because I feel like in the relationship, sometimes, you know, when people threaten to end it, so you know it's not over. It's just, you know, you just have a moment. Yeah. So there's those breakups where you're like, we're done. But you know you're not done. But now there's a breakup where you know you're done. Yeah. That one I never ever reached. Like, it's over.
Once it's done, it's done completely.
It's done. But those middle ones where it's like, oh, you know, we're broken up for 2-3 weeks.
Like, hey, kwani madem komatagaje?
Because I think you loved me.
Am I exposing too much?
No, no, you're not.
At some point, I was your knight in shining armor. The 4 kids, we named our kids just because we broke up. Just because probably I cheated. Come on.
But let me say, like, are we done or are we done?
Yeah.
Hi, Jalishi, it's been months. I've forgiven myself for the things that I did. Why are you not forgiving me?
What about it? Then do you think it's the place of the gentleman to reach out?
Anyways.
So none of you are reaching out. Who's going to reach out?
Okay, let me just speak.
Let
me speak from experience.
Yeah.
Been blocked. Nikatuma mpaka email.
Eish.
I'm here.
Eish.
What do you mean? Nikaingia, nikaandika. May this email find you well.
Umemwacha bado. Wewe ndio shida. You're the problem.
What?
Hey.
No, this email finds you well.
You started like that?
Yeah.
Bro,
Pale
that's
kwa reference.
Man.
Reference.
What part is the reference?
Love.
No.
Okay, I shouldn't laugh. Like,
if
you love, I know.
I feel like we girls think about things like that, but now when we hear someone saying it, it's like, hey, yo.
But I was the one who cheated, so of course.
Oh.
You should have started with that.
I forgave myself, because now I realize that outside there, it's not as I thought. You know, I'm weak.
I like the way
exactly. It's good to tell your person.
Hata mimi nilikuwa nimeanza kukusupport.
Thank you. Now continue supporting
me. No.
The fact that what you did broke up the relationship is a big deal.
Do you remember that clip of Montoya? The one that was going around the other day of the guy screaming on the island. When I don't know if you saw on X, so it's a reality show of a guy. I think it's like Temptation Island or something where you couples go together and then you're tempted. So the guy was tempted before, fell for the temptation multiple times, I believe.
Because we're weak.
Then
the girl fell for it once.
The girl decided, oh yeah, then it's on. So she went all the way. She went to hell with it. The guy was breaking. You need to see that clip. That's one of the most dramatic clips.
When I get home immediately.
And I think that's the thing that we don't get about men. Why would you mess up, ruin something good, and then pursue it after? Is it because when you have something you don't really value it, and then once it's gone, that's when you know?
It has nothing to do with
It's just
value.
weakness.
Yeah.
It's number one, weakness. Number two, wacha nipeane mfano na Kiswahili. Maanake ni lugha ya taifa. Unaweza peana jembe ikalime na irudishwe na usijue. Ni shamba yako.
Moving on swiftly. Unachoma sasa. Okay. Wacha nikwambie. I feel like it's a universal experience to some extent for some gentlemen, but I don't think. I think it comes also maybe with maturity. You start to understand that you have control over what you give into and what you don't.
What do you mean maturity?
Would you let me just, now that you've lost her, you lost that one relationship, you lost a good girl because of that.
Yes.
Would you get into another relationship with another good girl and then do the same thing?
I'd be more careful, number one. Number two, again, like I said, you can be weak because number one, elewa hivi, cause unapatanga, mostly, I'll just give an example of something that we can all relate. Unapata mwanaume ame cheat na mfanyikazi wake. But hataki kuacha bibi yake akae na mfanyikazi. It was just a moment of weakness. So I realized like, oh, this was not okay. Let me apologize to my one and only. If she finds out though. If she doesn't, I'll never do it again. So we don't do it with the intention of, let me break your heart. No, I love you so much. But I was weak.
But what, okay, then the next question I'd probably ask is, how long do you invest into this other side relationship? Because there are people who take on a whole different side chick and they keep her for years. Years, because we fall into temptation or whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
and it's okay if the one-time instances perhaps can be excused. But then how long can you justify a situation where, let's say if she catches you and you've been doing this for 3 months with the same exact girl, how can you justify that then?
Now, it depends. Number one, if our relationship is good, if we are okay, we're raising a family, we have plans and all that, that's a different story. But if you're having problems in our relationship, we're not seeing eye to eye, we are arguing all the time, sometimes everyone pata relationship haiko sawa, and then someone else is giving me the comfort that you're not.
I think that also takes me then to the next question that I have.
Because
so many times instances like that happen often, where you're just in a relationship because we have history. You know, I can't let go of this person. Then is it healthy to keep being in a relationship rather than being single? Because I think that circles back to the question we're asking. Are you, can being single and being happy coexist?
No.
Because then that's they can't.
No.
Okay. We'll circle back also to that. Again.
I have put a
Yeah, like duku. Okay. But now then, why would you be in a relationship if you're not fulfilled from it rather than being single? Shai, do you think it's healthy for you to be in a relationship that's not fulfilling you as opposed to being by yourself where you feel like you're happy, you're content, you're fulfilled?
No, I could never.
Yeah,
like, I can't fake
and why
it.
don't you think it's healthy?
Because
I can't
now
fake it.
elewa
It's
pia
not
mnaingia
healthy.
kwa relationship juu ya finances, upende huyo mtu lakini yeye anakuweka tu vizuri. So you
But
just
it's not a
there.
job.
No, so unapenda this is news to you.
No, it's
You've never
not
had
news.
this.
But it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply to me specifically. Maybe another girl who has had that experience. But to me, I've never had a man keep me to be like,
in
oh,
situations
already.
like that, genuinely, there are people who need to be in relationships.
Yeah.
You need to be there because you're getting one thing or the other. But let's be honest, like the situation you've given, so many Nairobi girls will stay with people they don't necessarily love or care for because he has money.
Absolutely.
He provides, he does this and that. And I'm sorry to say this, I hope it doesn't come off wrong, but you're a whole being. You're a person with capabilities. You have skills and a brain and technology. You can actually work from home and make money. And I don't know if people also understand pesa yako, ukikula pesa yako ni tamu, ukila pesa ya watu.
Pesa yako ikangi.
Exactly.
It just disappears really
Okay, yeah, but then why would you be with someone that you don't even care about? Why not find a rich guy you actually care about then?
Soft life, number one, you should understand times are hard. social media is there. There's the pressure of I
pressure.
saw you doing this and this. Your person loves you. Fly out. Even so, the recent Cairo experience, alikuwa anatuambia, I'm taking someone to Cape Town, Maldives. You guys are taking your people sijui where. So there's that pressure. So your person is like, let me look for someone who has money. But hataki kuacha because wewe unampenda genuinely. So unapata like there's that fine line. Alafu huyo mtu mwenye akona pesa anajua umpendi, but anataka your companionship and the benefits that come with it, knowing very well that you don't love this person. So people are afraid of being single, and they're using, probably men, I'd say, we are using our financial muscle just to fill in that is not being given at home. Na pia unapata home ni responsibilities zinafanya tusiachane. There are kids, don't want to break up a family, nini. There's a lot. But being single, jameni, it's a weekend, your friends are out, your friends are with other people, they're enjoying. Unapigia beshte yako anakuambia, mimi niko na mtu wangu, tuongee, unabaki hapo unajiuliza, what am I doing?
So you don't think it's possible to be single and happy?
Where is the happiness coming from?
Yourself?
How?
There's so much to do and explore by yourself.
And I think now let's get into that then.
Yeah.
What can you do? Or rather, let's explore things that you can use to fill your time. Because it makes me wonder then, what exactly are you also doing in a relationship that makes you feel like, I'm so happy being in a relationship? What activities do you, or what do you gain from that? And what do you not gain from being single? Because hapo ndio penye sasa nashindwa. Because is it possible to fill your days? Because I'm pretty sure your answer is you can be single and happy.
I feel
What
like so.
can you do to make yourself happy? Like in response to his question, what can you do to fill your days so that you feel fulfilled?
So I will say, now where I am, right? Foresight is 2020, they always say. So where I am now, I know the importance of singleness. Like I'm not doing it from the anger perspective. I'm not doing it to try get back at anybody. I'm genuinely trying to understand myself, right? It's like I feel like a lot of relationships, they're very codependent, which when you're single, you start realizing, oh wait, I actually don't care about that person. I just like that they give me attention. You start dealing with your own issues, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when you're like, okay, I have an attention deficit, where is it coming from? Now you have to start dealing with it. Oh wait, maybe I didn't get attention when now you're dealing with these things for real, right? And now when you know the real reason, I feel like you can genuinely be happy. Because if you are like, I just needed attention, then you find places to get attention healthily, or you give that to yourself.
Yeah, and you find communities.
There's so much community
that provide. So now let me toss it back to you, because if you think you can't be single and happy, then what are you getting out of a relationship that brings that joy, that makes you feel like I'm happy being in a relationship with someone?
Well, understanding that we live life so that we can end up with someone, spend the rest of your life with someone. I believe you guys grew up believing that. At the end of the day, you're going to get married, have a family, nini. All that in here, you want to make sure that it happens. Hutaki kuchelewa. So any chance that you get, any interaction that you have with the opposite gender, you want to make sure it lasts. You want to make sure that the happiness comes from that, the companionship. The moment you guys are bonding with each other, there's that dependency. Lazima tu itakuwa. Lazima utakaa. Usheka uwezi ishi bila mtu wewe. Ujaambiwa hivyo? Hey, jamani, ndio unakumbuka. It's like I can't sleep. Where is my babe?
I don't want that.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think
trying
it's
to avoid.
healthy.
Why are you guys avoiding happiness? Like
Because
I don't get it.
Because then the question is,
Aye.
is it the responsibility of your partner to make you happy, or is it
now there's
your
too much pressure on
responsibility to
somebody.
be happy?
Now, I'm not saying you come in relationships when you're sad, because you have
But if
your own life.
if you're not happy when you're single, then what are you? Are you?
Then you have your own problems. I'm just saying.
But you
there's the
said you can't be
happiness,
single and
there's-
happy.
I'm not saying the happiness of I am a sad person, I'm going through mental problems. I'm talking about that reality that hits you when everyone else, like for example, let's say your friends are in relationships and they're happy. Wengine wanakuita mpaka marorashio. Hata watu wanashangaa, hey, by the way, what's happening? You know, wapi mtu wako? Well, you're telling me you're going to be hanging out with your friends who are in relationships. Na uko tu hapo tu ni simu tu. Who are you even talking to?
But uko kwa picha una
Why?
screenshots.
Be with someone so that you guys
Yeah.
can share the moments. Hakuna kitu tamu kama unaambia mtu jokes anacheka. Hata kama si funny.
It's true.
So
Companionship is beautiful.
Oh
We
my
can't
God.
companionship is very beautiful, and I like that you've clarified, because I think the kind of happiness you're thinking is more like self-fulfillment.
Yes.
Because it shouldn't be the responsibility of your mom, your pastor, your sister, your brother, your partner to make you happy. I feel like it's a personal responsibility and it's rooted in your self-identity, in your self-awareness, in your self-confidence. Because I think if you're happy by yourself, you come into a relationship, you're even happier together. Because ujenge kwa relationship na mse mwenye akona ma issues too. Like every time ni babe, babes. Yeah. You're always solving problems. You feel like a therapist. That's a bit draining.
Yes.
So then, what can we do? Because you've talked about reflecting, especially. So that takes me back to your past relationships. What can you learn from your past relationships that will inform your future relationships, that will also make you sit with yourself and say, maybe I was the problem. Like you've said, you forgave yourself because of what you've done.
Yes.
There's some situations where I've personally self-sabotaged, and it's because of maybe anxious attachment or even the dependency that we're talking about. But then you sit with yourself and you reflect and you say, okay, it trickles back to my childhood or my parents or my class 3 heartbreak or something. You know, you find the root cause of it. But what actions can you actively take to rediscover yourself and to find happiness? What do you do, Shai?
Damn, that's interesting. I started journaling, and I feel like it's kind of like funny when you tell people, I write on my diary, but like there's a lot that happens in your mind constantly that we don't get a chance to let out. So when you have a pen and paper, you'll be surprised the things you'll tell yourself or write or just download that will come. So I feel like I learned a lot about myself that way, you know, like journaling and also learning from people. I really enjoy watching like podcasts, like specific ones. I'm not going to listen to everybody. But there's things where you're like, I like this person's journey. I like what they're doing. I am inspired by them. So I listen to how they deal with relationships. You know, that's how I kind of go on my self-discovery journey. It's like through other people, because like, why am I trying to invent something when heartbreaks have been there since even before I was born, right? So people have been getting over them from time. Because like, so how did this, from a woman perspective, how did she handle this? How did she overcome her weaknesses when she found out that, wait, even me, I'm a red flag? There's nothing more humbling than when you realize that, wait,
I was the problem.
Not particularly with thee, but I was a problem. And definitely created problems for us. And it's like, I find that we always attract people who also are like a mirror that's opposite. So you see like how you're saying you wrote emails for like, you attracted a person who was so avoidant. I tend to attract people who are like that now. So I will do the blocking and they will not look for me. No emails. It's like I block
finally.
look for me. Look for me.
What's up?
So it's always like a vice versa of like how we attract people. Because I'm like, I didn't know people like you existed.
I know, right? It's a lesson. And I think it's like, I'm going to give you an example that I actually watched a film on the same literally last night. So let me read some of the comments you guys have shared on our platforms. The question, Nimewauliza, is do you think it's possible for you to be single and happy? And I also asked how long till you get over your ex. Is there a timeline? So let me start with Moses KE, who says, yeah, I do what I want because with a partner, atataka nikae kulingana kieye, which is a turn off kwangu. Okay, that's interesting. Obed amesema labda heaven. Not on earth. Umesema hey, iyo ni yenyu. MC Silento amesema yes, it's possible to be single and happy. And we have Steve Kiangathi, who says yeah, even more happier. Interesting. And we have Paul Mumo, who says yeah, cause ukiwa single you dress vile unataka na unaweza post mwenye unataka, and bado ukiwa kwa hao ukifikiria mtu, it's only your parents.
That is very toxic.
Boy, exactly.
That is so wrong.
We'll circle back to that. What have we exposed? Rick Fox amesema not at all. Interesting. We have Dishon Mutuse, who says if only cast. Hey. Roat amesema relationship yenyewe inasemaje. That's true. And we have Taurus Cap, who says when you don't have money. Wow. So watu wako na pesa wezi kuwa happy you're single. Interesting. Or this is how to move on, how to get over. Okay, how long till you move on and what happens through that time? So that's what we've gotten. Relationship yenyewe inasemaje. That's true. And then when you don't have money, but how do you move on when you don't? Okay, interesting. Lord Kimei amesema, if I'm making more sacrifices within the first few days, then you know it's time to move on. Obed amesema admin ni kama unatutafuta ukweli. Imagine tunataka tu tuambie tu huku ni safe space. Gikonyo Mushiri amesema ako locked in from Kamacharia Kamune ndani yake. And then we have Doti Mora amesema immediately after wiping tears. Wow. Dawood Mtakatifu amesema tuned in from Vietnam. Hey, karibu sana. Then Lord Kimei amesema, just to remind you, women always have backup plans from the moment you start the relationship. Hey Lord, awa ni women wagani?
Usijaribu women.
Roat amesema, kwani leo ni Otile admin? Tunataka leo maoni yenyu guys. Then we have Wayne Fedi the second who says, according to me, 1 year. Interesting. Sheriff for Eldoret amesema, he's watching us. Thank you. And then we have Sheriff for Eldoret, who is watching. And Kenyan Witaba, amesema same day kuhil ni binguni. And then Chuck Morris Drogvio, amesema it depends with the depth of the affected heart. Very interesting comments that we're getting today. Mesema unahilukiwa kwa soko. Let's take a very short break, guys. We're going to come back and wrap up the conversation. It's very, very interesting. So stay tuned to Y254.